August 26th, meeting of the County Legislature, Public Works Committee to order. Street Council Kennedy, please do roll call.
Mr. Chairman, Ricard.
Present.
Mayo.
Here.
Cleary is excused. Fine. Andrews. Reinhardt.
Here.
Whalen. Here. Burkhart.
Here.
And Smith. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Street Council Kennedy. First item on the agenda is to approve the previous month's minutes. Did everyone have a chance to read them?
Yes.
Someone want to take a motion on it? Mr. Reinhardt?
Second.
Second by Ms. Whalen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously. Please read the second.
Item 2 is authorizing acceptance of grants from the New York State County Infrastructure Program and MVP Healthcare regarding the Albany County Rail Trail Freight Depot renovation project and amending the 2025 Department of Economic Development, Conservation, and Planning budget.
What comments?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. This is Marty Dolan. He's a grant specialist on our team. He had part to do with the application, so he's here to present it to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to request authorization for a $725,000 award to renovate the historic freight depot on Kenwood Avenue in Delmar. This is a grant from Empire State Development's County Infrastructure Grant Program. It will be used to run new water, sewage, and electrical lines into the building, place the foundation, and create interactive community health and tourism displays. It's a depot on the lot located right next to the new restroom facilities that the county opened earlier this summer.
So just to clarify, there's a couple pieces to it. So the grant that we're accepting is a $425,000 grant from the state. Then there's a $300,000 match from MVP. That's how we get to the total of $725,000, just to clarify for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reinhardt, do you want to say anything?
Just, I'm looking forward to this. My family walks by this building every day. It'd be nice to see it fixed up, and I know a lot of people in the rail trail area up back on definitely appreciate it.
Please acknowledge Mr. Fine. Thank you. Is there any other legislators have any comments on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it?
Oh, I have a question. So after the 725 is expended, will we be required to pay much more money from our own?
No, we should be able to handle everything in that. There is a county match portion of this. It's a total of $850,000 estimated for the project. But a big chunk of that is actually our contribution of the existing building and the property. So it's not even a cash contribution, it's just the value of that.
The only other question I have on this item is, when is it going to be done, completed?
I don't know the time frame, do you?
Yes, I do. In the proposal, we're hoping to have an RFP out by this fall, start construction early spring 2026, and then hopefully by end of fall, it'll be complete.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Reiner makes a motion, do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 3 is amending resolution number 705 for 2024 as amended regarding the New York State Department of Transportation snow and ice agreement.
Hi, good evening.
Please state your name for the record.
Oh, sorry. My name is Rosa Maria Torino. I'm the Director of Operations for the Department of Public Works. I'm here for Lisa Raimondo, Commissioner.
Welcome.
Thank you. The Department of Public Works has 233 lane miles of New York State that we plow, sand, and salt. And every year, they estimate the amount it's going to cost them based upon the 3 years prior. Well, in 24-25 winter season, they underestimated. We did have a much more difficult winter with ice this year. So they owe us $152,000, $2.05. So this is a request for us to accept that money from them by signing the agreement.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on that? Mr. Mayor makes a motion, do I have a second? Mr. Reinhardt. Any discussion on it? Any more discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4 is authorizing acceptance of the New York State Council on the Arts grant regarding leasehold improvements to the 1848 Shaker Meeting House. Joanna Batman is here this evening.
Hello, apologies for being late. I'm Johanna Batman, I'm Director of Shaker Heritage Society. So as most of you probably already know, we are a county-owned property. We have a long-term lease with the county, and pursuant to our lease, we have to request authorization before accepting any grant that could impact the property and capital projects that make improvements to the leasehold. So this is a grant to refurbish our entryway. So there's currently a ramped entrance for an accessible entrance, a second floor fire escape, and then we installed a new heat pumps HVAC system 2 years ago. So this grant would cover approximately half of the cost to replace the ramp with a graded earth sidewalk, essentially, put in a new code compliant second floor fire escape stairway, and build a shield, which was part of the State Historic Preservation Office requirements for that HVAC project.
Thank you. Do any legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Mayor wants a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Lynette? Mr. Reinhardt, seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5 is authorizing an agreement with MJP Construction Group regarding the Stedman House renovation project. Commissioner Lutino is here to speak.
Commissioner Latina for Department of General Services. Good evening, Chairman. We're undertaking a rehabilitation of the Stedman House next to the Justice Center. This is the first part of the renovation project to redo all the windows and repointing of the building itself and get it back to a nice weather-tight building before we start the interior and construction of it. M&J Group was the lowest responsive bidder out of 4 bids for not to exceed $831,500. The base bid was $710,000, and there's $106,500 in contingency funding, plus a $15,000 security access allowance for security doors for the access on that, because the plan is the district attorney is going to be taking over that building once it's complete.
Okay. Do any legislators have any questions? Mr. Berger?
Dave, this is just a GC contract for the exterior?
Yes,
So is this the rest of the project that we bid under Wix?
correct, yes. The rest of the project right now is in design through Thaler. They're historical. They're the ones that did this here because it is a historical building. And you can't go in, it costs a little bit more money because you can't go in and just rip the windows out. All these windows and everything have to be rebuilt, and you have to keep the structure historical. So once this is all done, Thaler's working on the interior program of it right now.
Okay, so there's no electrical, no...
Not at this point, not at this point right now, no.
All right, thank you.
I just get a little suspicious. I mean, we're $250,000 less than anybody else who bid on this. Is there any reason for that?
We vetted them, we checked them out, everything was good. They have all their apprenticeship programs, they're a good contractor, and we have to go with the lowest responsive bidder.
They're not going to change your orders to death?
Hopefully not. But again, once you're dealing with a historical building like that, once you start pulling these windows out and getting into the structure of the building, you know, the road's going to find. That's why the contingency is a little higher on this one than normal.
Do you think that's why the other companies bid that much higher than
Yeah,
that?
probably. Yeah. But it is what, you know, it's not going to go exceed that 831,000. We don't expect it will go, you know, even get close to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Fine.
Legislator Mayo's question made me think of something. Do we look at the history of when we get these bids? We look at the history of change orders. If there's a history of like a company that puts in a lot of change orders, either with us or bids that they do on other projects.
Well, we don't have that. We really don't have access. We really don't have access to other projects they do as far per se as when they do their bidding process. They just give us the total amount of the work that they've done in a lot of their bids. But we do our due diligence in calling and making sure that they can do this project at that price at the time.
We call like other counties, other entities that have hired them.
We
they did a good job, or
most of the companies we know.
Yeah.
that bid. Most of the companies we know that do a good job. And they're vetted right now through New York State. They have to be registered contractors through New York State now anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bergdorf, you're next.
Well, I was actually going to make a comment on change orders. Everybody assumes that a change order is driven by the contractor. There are three classes of change orders. There is one for inherent conditions. So if you dig and you didn't know there was toxic waste there, that's an inherent condition. It's not anyone's fault. There is errors and omissions by the contractor and the engineer. That is either the engineer or the architect's fault. And then there's change orders that are driven by the owner, which are program change orders. So if they get the windows halfway out, and somebody says, these ones that we spec are not going to work and we got to change, that's a owner-driven change order. So when you talk about, does someone have change orders, everybody has change orders.
And they have to be cleared by our engineering,
They have to be signed off by us.
and the architect of record.
It's a good point. Although we could look at the change orders that are specifically driven by the contractor. See if there's, a pattern.
Well, I don't.
We are concerned.
I
Not
don't
saying
believe
there
that
isn't
most of them aren't really driven by the contractor. Most of them are driven by what you get into and what you find it, and that's why the architect of record has overseen. We oversee it, the project, to make sure that the change order is worth it, because we can refuse a change order. We've done it before
Yeah.
if we don't feel it's necessary.
Okay.
Is there any other questions from those?
I have one, but.
I have a question.
Okay,
So I see they've done a lot of work for Skidmore, and they've listed them as a reference. Has anyone from your office called Skidmore or any of the, I mean, if we have, and I don't have a concern, obviously, they seem highly recommended, and they have all these references, like Skidmore, trade references, supplier references, bank references, lawyer references. But I do note that they don't have, it doesn't appear as if they have a lot of historic renovation
Well-
experience. It's a lot of firehouses and hockey rinks, but, I mean, I don't
They're
know.
actually, when we do this, because we've hired a contractor, an architecture firm that specializes in historical renovation.
Right.
They have to meet that criteria under
Yeah.
historical renovation.
Right. So it looks like they, I'm sure,
I'm sure Skidmore probably has some stuff up there.
I'm sure
that's
someone
historic.
called them and said they're not change order crazy, and you are happy with that
Yeah, we're fine with it.
phone call that you made, or whatever you did.
Yeah, we always, when we ever see it's a little bit lower of a price than everybody else, that's the first calls we make
Yeah,
to find out that everything is good and they haven't missed anything in their bid package. Sometimes you'll get a lower bid and you'll call them up and say, well, you know what, there was a miscalculation, or, we missed this, and so, they'll pull their bid if they don't, because they're held to this contract now.
yeah. Page 73, there's a long list of references.
Yeah.
So I'm fine, make a motion.
I got a couple questions too, but you want to go first, Mr. Ryan?
Okay. Two questions. First, just to clarify two things that you said, or actually both questions are clarifications. But one is, the architect designs the specs. They're only bidding on doing the actual work that is specified, correct?
Correct.
So, okay. That's reassuring, actually, because the architect's the one that's got the historical experience.
Correct.
The second thing, though, is in response to, I think it was Dave's question, maybe it was Sam's, change orders for the contractor that we're considering. We can look at those, can't we, for our own projects?
Oh, yes.
For past experience, if we want to see if there's a trend, we can go back and look, because we'll have the records of all the change
Well,
orders.
it's every project is different. I mean, every time.
No, I know, but I mean, we have that capability, don't we?
Sure. We could always look at all our projects and what the change orders were. But you're going, in any large project you're doing, until you really get into the work, you don't know exactly. I mean, the architect can do as much as they want, like Mr. Bergdorf would say. You don't know if they get in there and all of a sudden they find when they're pulling the windows out that you have hazardous material inside those windows, okay? That, even though you did the survey, okay, you might have found something else once you start ripping stuff apart. That's where that comes in.
I guess my follow-up point, but also in response to what you just said, yes. So if we have the ability to go back and look at change orders, and then we use Paul's logic and we say, okay, why? If there is a pattern of a lot of change orders, why? And now we see, okay, was it category 1, 2, or 3? To me, that's useful information to have.
Well, we could, I
You know,
mean,
going down the road, if we have, as David points out, wow, this bid was really low, you know, are we totally okay with it? If we wanted to check, we can, and if we do, it might be a two-step process. That's kind of what I'm getting.
well, that's why you have the architect and you have our engineering department do the oversight on any kind of change order.
Yeah, okay.
Just to follow up on that though, because I want a point of clarification. So the architect agrees with this subcontractor, this contractor?
Yes.
They're okay with the
Yes.
individuals?
Yes,
And they've heard of other projects they've done, and they're all.
Correct.
They signed off on it, I guess.
yes, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. I've got no further questions. I think Legislator Whalen is ready to make a motion on it. Is that correct?
Yes, yep.
Do we have a second? Mr. Reinhardt seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Item 6 was,
Is moved to the audit and finance agenda.
That's
So
correct.
there are no further items.
thank you. With no further items, do we have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Reinhardt second. No softball? Wait, want to talk about something? I'll help you. Adjourned.